Olympic winter is coming, and while the North may remember, you may not personally remember everything about the Olympics from the last 4 years. Which is why we are starting a new series. Every week between now and February 6th, when these Winter Olympics finally kick off, we're going to be going through everything you might need to know to watch them. Not only the sports that are taking place, the different events that you can watch, but also major storylines coming into these Olympics, major rivalries that you might need to know about, and any news that breaks between now and February 6th when they kick off. But let's start with the very basics. The Olympic Charter states that the Winter Olympics are comprised of sports that are practiced on snow or ice. That means that we actually have 116 medaled events that take place across 16 different sporting disciplines. These Winter Olympics are taking place in Italy. While these Olympic Games are dubbed the Milano Cortina Olympics, 6 other cities will also host events. This is very common when it comes to Olympics like this, and you actually saw the same thing these past Summer Olympics when they were called the Paris Games, but multiple other cities in France actually hosted events. In this series, I will make sure to take you through every single one of these 116 medaling events, as well as explaining the basics of all 16 different disciplines. And we will, of course, cover some of the major storylines. There's a lot of big storylines to look forward to when it comes to these Olympics. For example, these Winter Olympics are going to be the most gender-balanced Olympics yet. 8 different events were added to these Olympics, which means that we're actually going to have 47% female participation in the 2026 Games. Additionally, this is the first time since 2014 that NHL players have been allowed to participate in the Games, which means that men's ice hockey is going to look a little bit different, and we just had a very fun preview of this when the NHL ran their Four Nations tournament. And of course, one of my favorite storylines that we'll be tracking in this series is Lindsey Vonn's return to the Olympic Games. In addition to all of those stories, there are a ton of big storylines to cover throughout the next couple of months, historic rivalries that we should be tracking when it comes to the Winter Olympics, and of course, I'll be highlighting and profiling athletes that you should be following going into these Olympic Games. Additionally, right after the Olympic Games, the Paralympic Games start on March 6th. We will, of course, be covering the Paralympics just the same way that we cover the Olympic Games. And very excitingly, this is the 50th anniversary of the very first Winter Paralympic Games being held. They have 79 medaling events across 6 different sports. So Olympic Winter is coming starts now. If you're interested in learning about the Games, who you should be following, and getting excited for these Winter Olympics, be sure to follow along as we dive into one of my favorite times in sports. And right now, drop any comments that you have about the Winter Olympics in the comments of this video, and I will make sure to answer your questions as we go through the series.